everyone, it's your friend Think Noodles, and welcome to Ask Think episode number 151 for Monday, April 27th, 2015. And last week, guys, I asked you, well, and it's nice and sunny today, but it was a rainy day, and I asked you, what's your favorite thing to do on a rainy day? Because I had a rainy day that day. And we'll start with Button to the Max, and he says, on a rainy day, I would have to go to school, get annoyed probably because my hoodie is stuck onto my backpack, go home, be all wet and soggy, have to dry his clothes and his backpack, then get really mad when he realizes his backpack was a quarter of the way open, and the homework is wet. That's very specific, like it may have actually happened once or twice before. Skater Aaron 0731 says, on a rainy day, I would just stay home, get cozy with pillows and blankets and watch the news or some movies with my sisters. Probably upload a video of what I do on a rainy day while on a rainy day. Kind of random, but I'll go with it. Mark Ferrugia says on a rainy day, he would solve a Rubik's Cube, which I have to say I'm really jealous and I'm embarrassed to admit I've never been able to solve one. It's a 3x3x3 technically, I guess. Wait, is it 3? Yeah, I think. See, that's how bad I am at Rubik's Cubes. I can't even visualize what it actually looks like. Wait, is it 3x3 though? I think it's 4x4. I don't know. Anyway, Andrew Telgenhoff says, on a rainy summer day, not winter, I like to get my bathing suit and dash as fast as I can and jump into the lake behind my house. On a winter day, I like to fall on the floor and have my face planted on the ground and push my body across the floor. When I get up, my face is red and has marks on it. Okay, the second part, the winter part, I'm not really cool with. That's not anything I've ever done before, but I do like to do that on like a warm summer day when you've got like kind of a warm rain, but it feels cold, and you jump into a pool or something, and the pool water feels so warm, and you feel like the cold raindrops on your head. It's always really nice. Blaze King says, if it was a rainy day, I would exercise out, take a run in the gym. So that's really good. And then go indoors and set up their headphones and play Minecraft and play mini games. And then after 2 hours, take a nap until it's over. That's a really productive activity, or I guess group of activities while it's raining. I'm pretty impressed. Mr. Costas 1500 said, when it's raining outside, I'm on my couch drinking a hot chocolate and playing my favorite island on Pop Tropica, Mystery Train. That's actually a really good one because, you know, that's one of the few Pop Tropica islands that I have a little bit of trouble remembering the order of things that you have to do them in. Most of them I can just think straight in my head without even playing the island. As soon as when I play the island, I know exactly what to do next. But Mystery Train, since there's a lot of back and forth across the train, it's not always that easy to remember who you have to talk to next. TNT the Biggie says, when it rains, I usually do whatever I can to pass the time on weekends when I'm not grounded, which, it sounds like a pretty common occurrence. I will usually play the computer or the Wii U, or Wii in the past. On weekdays, I usually do homework, watch TV, anything I can do to pass time. Although, the most annoying thing is when I have to take the dogs out when it rains. They don't like water and will mostly not cooperate much. And I have that same exact problem with Kopi. She loves the water. She loves to swim in anything, but she hates two things that have to do with water, and that would be rain and showers, which are about the same because, you know, the rain is like, you know, in the shower, it's water falling on top of her. She really doesn't like, but she'll jump into any body of water. Vector 1239 says, I think I will jump out of my house window and splash into the water even if there's no water, and I wait all day to jump in the water, but the rain lasts for like 5 hours, making a little puddle, so I go in my bathroom and jump in. Okay, well, I hope that you're talking about like you're just, why would you jump out of your window? I don't I don't exactly know, but I'll explain what my favorite thing to do in the rain, well, it used to be, I guess, because can't really do that around here anymore. But it kind of something to do with that, but not jumping out of windows. Foxy the Fox says, so what I like doing on a rainy day is making levels for people in Happy Wheels, which usually take a lot of time, mostly texturing something or anything kind of similar to that. And that's because I like to make people happy, not rage with my levels. And, you know, I've never played Happy Wheels, but I'm sure we're going to see it on a Fan Choice Friday at some point. So maybe I'll play one of your levels. Pugbucks Coffee says, on rainy days, I do a lot of reading. So I get lost in another world, and then I forget how rainy and dreary it really is. I love that. I love that you guys still read. Tomboy16 says, I go outside with my BFF in the yard at my school when school's over because I love to get wet. And I did this on the Friday, I think it was Monday, you talked about, because I live in New York City, but I was wearing jean shorts, so I got soaked. And then we got ices from the Icy Ladies, which sounds, you know, after running around the rain, aren't you cold? You want ice? Lion Flamey says, I go dark elixir farming to upgrade my king because it takes a long time. Yes, I'm obsessed. And I just... this morning upgraded Bob to level 4, and I know what you mean. Dark elixir is so hard to come by, and you know, when you start getting up there, right, to like, well, to upgrade Bob to level 4, I had to get 17,500 dark elixir, and you start to get that high, you get really, really paranoid that people are going to attack you and steal your dark elixir, so you don't want to log out, and you just sit there. Even like I was like, while I was waiting for my army to train so I could raid for some more dark elixir, I was like just moving my finger on the screen every 5 minutes so that it wouldn't log me out and someone wouldn't take my stuff. Elliot Truesdale says, I live in England, so pretty much every day is a rainy day. But when it is raining 90% of the time, I like to sit in the conservatory, eating crumpets and drinking tea while complaining about the weather. Oh God, why did I do that? Why did I do that? And my horrible, okay, it just sounded like such a British thing that I felt like I should start going into what I try to pass off as whatever. Bad British accent, whatever. King John Kane says, on a rainy day, my mom obviously doesn't let us go outside, so I have 5 brothers. Wow, that is a huge family. And we all like to have a #1 video game contest, and whoever wins gets to slap the others on the back of the neck. Not hard, just hard enough to annoy. I bet it's pretty hard. And say, neck yourself, and 2, jump around and wrestle, but my mom gets mad. We stop for a little while, and then we eat. And oh, your mother must be a saint, because 6 boys, and I don't know your ages or anything, and don't tell me, but I just can't imagine what your household is like. Adam Gensheimer says, what do I do on a rainy day? Easy. Stuff my mouth with food. Don't judge. You know you do it. Probably I do eat more on a rainy day because I'm not outside doing stuff. Sied Faisal Fahim says, when it's raining, Faisal used Rain Dance, which is a Pokemon move if you guys don't know. That's amazing. Jaden Greenfield says, I go out and shout at the sky, is that all you got, Mother Nature? My fridge produces more condensation than you. Nice way to use that vocabulary. So guys, for what I like to do in the rain, what I used to like to do, I just was thinking back to my most favorite thing to do in the rain. And it was just as it was stopping raining. And this was when I was living in Indonesia, and we would have, for those of you who lived in, or who do live in Southeast Asia, you know, there are 2 seasons when you live near the equator. And that's rainy season and dry season. They don't have, although like, you know, they have the dates on the calendar. They don't actually have fall, winter, spring, and summer. They just have, it's the same temperature all year round, but they have a season where it rains a lot and a season where it doesn't rain a lot. And so during the wet season, what we would love to do is it would rain for like a day or 2 days non-stop. And when it was coming to an end, I'd call my friends and we'd race to the school as fast as we could because we had built skim boards, if you guys know what that is. It's not like a surfboard. Well, I mean, it is because it goes on water, but it's just a thin, and usually they're made fiberglass like a surfboard, but really, really thin. Like thinner than your smartphone thin. And it's just kind of flat, and you just throw it across a a shallow part of the water, and you get it moving, and you run and you jump on it and you skim across the top of the water until you can't anymore, you fall or whatever. And we built our own because they didn't sell them in Indonesia, and my friend's dad had all these tools and stuff, so we built our own out of wood. We made our own, and then covered them in resin so that they didn't soak and sink. And then, so we'd race to the school as fast as we could, and we'd go into the baseball fields because those would flood, and we'd have these epic contests where we would, see who could go the furthest, and we would this was probably not advisable, but we'd come from either end and try and hit each other and push each other off. Oh man, it was so much fun until it dried up. Now, for next week's question, it comes to us from Jules Gems, and it says, question for this week. If you have a pet, what's their name and what inspired that name? And also, guys, put what kind of pet it is. So say, oh yeah, I have a dog. Her name is Kopi. That'll answer the question to you guys. And most of you guys know the answer to that for mine, but I'd love to hear yours. So go ahead and post that in the comments below. Now, before we get to the questions for me, don't forget to leave your questions in the comments below so I can have something to answer next week. Remember, only one question per comment, but you can leave as many comments as you like. Also, if the comments on this Ask Think are closed, go to the most recent Ask Think and ask your question there. Now on to the questions, and the first one comes from Big Tiny, and it says, Think, you said it hurts when someone likes an episode the best when it has their question in it. When I got my question in a video, I was so excited I actually got emotional. Being such a big fan, I was happy you actually knew I existed and that you answered my question that I asked, and etc. And he felt guilty about it. And I just wanted to clarify what I said in the last video, and it wasn't that I felt or like it hurts when someone likes an episode the best because it has their question in it. What I was what I was hurt by in that was that they didn't care about anything else in the episode or any of the other episodes. All they care about is that one thing, and it's whether what the minion's name was. That's all they seem to care about, and that is completely different than saying, I love your Ask Think, and my favorite one is this one because I was in it. I totally expect that because that's a really big deal. But instead of it'd be more like you saying, yeah, I really don't like the series at all, but there was this one episode where you featured me in it, so I guess I like that one. Mastermind Dude M says, is it just me or did you start putting songs in the background now? I've always put songs in the background. I mean, sometimes I forget in editing to put songs or in the background under Ask Think, but for the most part, the majority of the episodes, I always put music in the background. The next couple of people ask about Captain Sparkle's new music video, and I'm really glad I have Ask Think and I looked through all of the comments because I seriously would not have known. I did watch the video, and I do like Take Back the Night a lot better. But I love that they tie all the series together. It took me a while to really understand the plot. I'm probably going to watch it a few more times to make sure that I really understand it. Take Back the Night was really easy to understand. This one was a little bit harder. But the animation, oh my goodness, incredible. Pink Diamond says, hey Think, do you ever think you'll have a designated time where you'll read the questions for Ask Think and record the gameplay for it too, assuming you don't already have one in place? No, not really. It depends. It depends on my wife's schedule mostly, and that changes so much. So if she's working Sunday into Monday and she's gonna be off on Monday, I'll do Ask Think on Sunday. But if she's off for the weekend, I always do it on Mondays. So there's really never gonna be an exact time and date where I can say I'll always do it at this time. I'm Sarantal says, Think, have you heard that next year, November 18th, 2016, a new Harry Potter movie, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, scripted completely by J.K. Rowling herself, comes out? I didn't know that, and I looked it up, and you're absolutely right. I mean, it's not necessarily a Harry Potter movie, and you probably, well, I've read the book before, because when I started reading Harry Potter, I bought everything that she'd ever made, and or ever written about it, and I've read that book. Actually, I think we have 2 copies of that. But anyway, you may not see any of the characters, or maybe you'll see cameos of them, or the standard Harry Potter characters. But it is in the Harry Potter world, and I'm totally watching it. D'Angelo NC asks, Think, what do you think of the MTA raising prices from $2.50 to $2.75? And guys, this is for the subway and probably bus fare too. But I don't know how to take buses in Manhattan. I'm really bad at it, so I only take subways. It's funny because the other day I was with my wife and we were going into the subway and I slid my Metro card and I was like, when did they change the price to $2.75? So I didn't even know that it happened, but there's really nothing I could do about it. Akash Singh asks, Think, will you make a custom mod adventure? Well, I've pretty much been making custom mod adventures for over a year now. Think's Lab, every single episode is technically a custom mod adventure. I mean, it's before Dan started his custom mod adventure series and started calling them custom mod adventures, but that's what they are. I don't call them that because that's Dan's name for his series, so I don't want to steal that. But yeah, no, Things Lab are all custom mod adventures because it's a group of mods all stuck together and we have adventures. Sarah M asks, how did you meet Dan and James? Did you guys go way back to being kids or just meeting online? Thanks. Well, although Dan and James are older than the average YouTuber, I guess. I mean, not a lot, but not as much as I am anyway. They live in England and I live in the United States, although I did live abroad. But they're still far my juniors. So we wouldn't have even really been kids together. I'd say, so Dan is like 23. And so, yeah, so I would have been in high school when Dan was born. So, and James, I probably would have been in middle school when James was born. So, it really no, not going back to being kids. Yeah, so I met both of them in one video for the first time. And you can find it on my channel. It's the dodgeball video. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see some early diamond minecart and me and Gizzy. And I think James was in it. I'm pretty sure. And that was the first time I'd ever met either of them. And then when I was at Minecon 2013, I met Dan and Gemma in person. And yeah, we've been friends, well, yeah, ever since. Big Tiny asks, why do you have a fake channel that doesn't have any videos on it? Couldn't you delete it? Well, it's not necessarily a fake channel. It is the Think Noodles username channel. And if I were to delete it, someone else would just pick it up. And then it would really be a fake channel. So I have to keep it there as a placeholder. Juno Cowan says, I noticed you started to pick up those chopsticks and push the like button as hard as you can. Why did you start that back up? I like that you do it. Just wondering what made you do it again. Well, I noticed that in Thinks Labs, the likes are like the views are still there, but people aren't responding to me asking, to give the thumbs up or to give the like. So, and I find that happens a lot. What you have to do is sort of switch up what you say when you ask and remind people to like, and then they'll take that new trigger, but people start to get used to the trigger and then they don't respond. Minecraft Epicness 78 says, hey, did you have to take a foreign language in high school? Yes. So living in Indonesia, one of the requirements of the school that I went to was that you had to take Indonesian, and that was in middle school. And then in high school, you get to choose what language you wanted to take, and I could speak Indonesian fairly well, so I wasn't going to take that, so I chose Spanish. Yan Ching Xiao asks, did it take long or was it hard for you to buy and set up all your recording gear when you first started up your channel? Yeah, it takes a long time because a lot of the stuff I have now, I didn't start with. So I started with a different microphone. I started with a different mic stand, a different shock mount, a different pop filter, different recording software, different hard drives. I mean, everything has sort of slowly been upgraded through the years. Danielle Beta asks, do you check your Instagram direct messages? No, I don't use Instagram very often at all. I probably post a picture once a week or twice a week at the most. Sometimes once a month. And no, I don't check direct messages. I didn't even know there were any. Pugbucks Coffee says, since you make YouTube videos, do you watch a lot of YouTube videos to see what other YouTubers with similar content are doing? No. Not because I don't want to, it's just that I really don't have the time to, and I feel like if I'm gonna be watching videos, I might as well be making them. So it's very rare that I watch other YouTubers' videos. I do have some people that I subscribe to that if I had free time and if I didn't have a video to make and it was raining outside and I couldn't walk Kofi, then I might watch one of their videos, but not to see what they're doing, just to enjoy the videos. Calix C Plays says, what was your favorite thing to do as a kid? Please tell us. Well, it may surprise you to know that I was a mischievous little boy, especially when I was a early teenager, probably 13, 14. And I was living in Indonesia, and my friend Adam and I, we used to love to do this thing where we'd ride our bikes down to this. I think it was a hospital. I'm pretty sure, and also this business it was like a business. No, what do you call that? Just an office building, but not a tall one, like a 1 or 2 story office building, not really tall, and the security guards hated us. They just didn't want bikes anywhere near their buildings. So we would ride around like the hospital parking lot until the security guards would get mad and start chasing us. Love to do that. Oh man. Oh, just love to get them mad. I mean, we didn't break anything or do anything like that. We just were there, and eventually they get really mad and chase us, and then we take off from the hospital, and then we go to that office building, and they had a traffic circle, but it was like a parking lot, and we would just ride in circles around the traffic circle until they got mad and started chasing us. And then we would just kind of like go back and forth between these two places, and then when we were done, or we had to go home for dinner, we'd leave. But really fun. Waffle Maniac asks, have you ever encountered a wild animal? If you have, when and where did it happen? Plenty of times. But I just wanted to tell you guys. So I actually went on safari in Africa with my wife for our honeymoon. And that was 5 years ago now. Was it? No, 4 years ago that we went on our honeymoon. And we saw all kinds. Lions. I was about to say tigers and bears, but lions, cheetahs, elephants, Cape buffaloes, and giraffes, leopards, all kinds of awesome animals. OAF Blue says, why do you keep your channel super family friendly? I want to watch you play Call of Duty and GTA 5. That's just who I am. That's what I enjoy playing. That's what I enjoy showing to you guys. And I mean, I have played Call of Duty. I mean, I do have the most recent version, but I've played about 20 minutes of it, and I've had it for like 3 months. So it's just not, I don't know, it's just not me. Xavier Ramirez says, do you think you will ever do any gameplay of Xbox One or 360? Well, I don't have my Xbox 360 anymore. I do have an Xbox One, and I do have the capability to record it, as you probably saw on the 99 Gamers video. I did the Plants vs. Zombies gameplay, and yeah, I definitely expect to play games on it. Iguana Boy says, did you see the movie Truman Show? If you did you find it scary? Not at all. And in fact, that is one of my favorite movies of all time. I really love that movie. Love the performance by Jim Carrey, and really good movie. Stella Rules asks, how do you record so well? I don't know how to make my videos good. I try, but I can't. It's experience. It really comes down to experience. My videos, if you look back at the beginning of my channel, my videos were not very good. So it took a lot of time to get where I am, but thank you so much for the compliment. Snow Penguin 2 asks, if you know, what is your first ever video and what was it? Can you tell us, and link in the description? So I got to thinking about this, and technically the first video on my channel, on this channel, not my first video. And even still, if you go back to my CP Insiders channel, which was before this one, and look at that first video, still not my first ever video. So I thought about it, and I'll link it in the description. It is from my Free Realms Insider website and YouTube channel, and it was 5 years ago, over 5 years ago actually, that I made the video, and it was just to teach people about how to get extra coins in the game. There's no voice or anything, but you guys can check it out. Some people actually know. I saw some comments when I looked it up that said think. So pretty impressive that you guys were able to figure it out. The Randomness Girl says, hey, today we're doing a science project and my teacher asked who was the strongest in class. Everyone made suggestions, but this one boy said definitely not any of the girls. It ticked me off, but of course we were in school, so I couldn't show him how strong a girl can be, if you know what I mean. What will you do about people like this? Well, first of all, don't fight him. That's really a bad idea. But first of all, he's young, or second of all, he's young, and it's a stereotype, unfortunately, that you get a lot of when you're younger. As people get older, as men get older, they realize that women are generally superior to us. And can be stronger than us in a lot of ways, not just, not just physically stronger. I mean, they can be physically stronger, but mentally stronger as well. And that women really are equal to men in most cases. there are obviously some men that are, that are genetically built stronger than women, but women can be really, really strong and surprise you. And please don't beat that guy up. But the only way that that's going to happen is just time, that people give women the credit they're due. Chal Carva asked, when are you going to sing a song and upload it? Like, thanks, see you. His songs are really good. Please sing a song. I'm sure it will be very popular. Trust me. Thanks, Sia or James, get his videos are good because he can sing. I can't sing. I really can't. That said, I do have a song, a parody that I wrote lyrics for and everything, and someone else sang it for me. I paid a musician to sing it, which will be in my which will be for the animated video about ThinkSlab. But whenever that comes out, it comes out. The Clown is down, says, what's your offensive strategy for Clash of Clans? Usually, for farming, I use Barch, and then for war lately, I've been using all dragons because we've been up against clans that you really need all dragons for. But someone in my clan, Mickey, suggested that I use BAM, which is barbs, archers, and minions. And the reason for that is because you can technically have 6 barracks training all at once. You can have, 2 barracks for your archers, 2 barracks for your barbarians, and then 2 barracks for the minions, so you can train a lot faster and attack more often so you can farm faster. Button to the Max says, did you notice that a few of your Pop Tropical walkthroughs have over 1 million views? The walkthroughs usually get a lot of views because people really want to know how to pass the island. Yeah, I think they're not my most popular video. They used to be by far my most viewed videos. Now it's ThinkSlab videos, but the ones that have over 1 million views are the older ones relatively. And none of the episodic ones really have anywhere near that, but I don't know. I mean, we have had a recent full island, and we'll see where that one goes, but I don't really expect that more recent walkthroughs are gonna get over 1 million views. I just don't think Pop Tropica is as popular as it used to be. The Foxy person says, what are you gonna do when Minecraft shuts down? Well, first of all, the thing about if Minecraft were to shut down, it's not going to happen very soon because Microsoft paid a lot of money for that. But the thing about Minecraft shutting down, that would just mean that they're not developing anymore. That doesn't mean you can't play the game anymore. It's not like an online game like Free Realms or Pixie Hollow or something like that, where when the company says, okay, we're done, that you can't access it anymore. This is a game that you'll be able to play forever. So if they were to stop development on it, I'd probably still be playing in some way, shape, or form. But I play a lot of other videos or a lot of other games on my channel, and I just moved to those. Epic Dragon Warrior asks, will you play an adventure map again? Absolutely. I know it's been a while, but when the summer starts up, I'm sure that we'll find something fun to play. Stephanie Phillips asks, has Kopi, the real one, ever barked during a ThinkSlab? If she does, can you edit it out or you have to do it again? I usually do it again. Sometimes, no, I usually almost, yeah, I'll just do it again because in ThinkSlab, I do so many takes of each scene that it's not really a big deal. I'm like, oh well, whatever. Just let me backtrack to where we started the scene and we'll start it up again. Swag Monster asks, is the ThinkSlab logo thingy at your intro a painting or what? Yes, it is. It's a 2x1 painting, and those are inside the lobby as well. And yeah, they're just paintings that I put into a resource pack. Clemson Magic asks, where did the friendly arrow come from? And I loved this story. So it says, I shall tell you a story. It was long ago in the nostalgic era, a skeleton was prowling. Noodles was thinking the skeleton didn't have good aim. He practiced. It was in vain. He tried shooting Think. Think would have been killed if it weren't for the skeleton's aim. Thus, it was called the friendly arrow. For it didn't kill, all because of the skeleton without skill. Amazing! I love it! And that's pretty much what happened. Zoe Gappa asks, can you do the outro in Marcus's voice? Okay, I'm gonna give this a try, guys. So I'll do, I'm not gonna do the whole thing in his voice. I'm gonna try, because I actually almost can't remember how I did that, but all right. So guys, that's it for this episode of Ask Think. Don't forget to leave your question in the comments below so I can have something to answer next week. Also, don't forget to pick up those chopsticks and poke that like button as hard as you can. All right, here we go.
I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. And of course, Noodle on.
Oh man, that is just a dorky voice.